All right, midterm third problem. Truth tables. This gave a lot of people trouble. And they're a little bit challenging, especially these if-then things. A few of you guys got these 100% correct, which was great. But a lot of you guys really struggled on these. So I want to go through these a little bit slower and really make sure they make sense to people. So sort of the idea is there's two different things going on here. One of them is P and one of them is Q. And because I have two different things, that gives me four different options. You can even number them if you want. You could be in this first case, this second case, this third case, or this fourth case. Because each of these things can either be true or false. But if this one is true, this one can be true or false. So these first two are saying if your first thing is true, you got two options on your second thing. And if your first thing is false, that leaves you two options for your second thing. So we got four options in total. And what we got to do is fill out this entire truth table. First two are relatively straightforward. Most of you guys got these right. Not P. The simple rule there is saying this thing is true if P is not true. In other words, we kind of want the opposite of what P is. So if P is true, I want to put a false right here. So P is true, I want to put a false right here. P is false, the opposite of false is true, I want to put a true right there. P is false, put a true right here. Not Q, same basic idea. Maybe I'll even keep the same color. It's the opposite of this one. So Q is true, not Q is false. Q is false, not Q is true. Kind of the double negative idea. Q is true, not Q is false. Q is false, not Q would be true. Now it gets a little bit more complicated. First, P or not Q. The easiest way to do this one is note that I have a column for P and I have a column for not Q. So just focus on these two columns right here. Don't look at anything else here. Completely ignore all this. Pretend you just have this column or this column. I am going to put a T right here if I have a T in this column or I have a T in this column. So for this first one, I go over here and I say, oh, I got a T right here. I have a T in this column or in this column, so I'm good. I got to put a T right here. For this second one, I look over here and I got a T in this column, so I'm good. I can put a T right here. I don't even have to look over here. I had another T, but that doesn't matter. I only needed a T in one or the other. So once I got my T here, I was good. I wrote a T here. Get down to this third row. Note I have a false here. So I do not have a T from this column. So now I need to have one from this column. And I don't. I have a false here also. I have a false in this column and a false in this column. I don't have a true in either one. Therefore, I put a false out here. And then finally, by that same logic, the last one. I don't have a T here. I need to have a T in either this one or this one. So I better have a T over here. Oh, I do. Good. Okay. Don't have one here. Do have one here. So I have one in one or the other, namely right here. So I got to put a T right here. If you think about it as like you want a T and you don't want an F, it helps me think about it. Okay, next, probably even more complicated. This is the one that throws people off the most. The if-then ideas. If-then. To earn your T, you need a T in the then column. Whenever you have a T in the if column. This one is a little bit strange. The way I think about it is there's this criteria in the Q column that has to be true if you're playing the game. But you only play the game if you have a T in the P column. So what I'm saying is you start by coming over to the P column. If this thing is true, then you're playing this game. Then you have to work really hard to earn your T over here. This is true, I'm going to have to do work to be able to put a T here. The second one is true, so I'm going to have to do work to put a T here. These two are false, so I don't have to do any work at all. I automatically get to put a T right here. What this is saying is that if your P is true, then your Q has to be true. But if your P is not true, you don't need to do any work. You automatically get a true right here. And that's really weird. People don't like putting a true in these two boxes right here. That's what throws everybody off. But logically speaking, we only need a t in the q column if there's already one in the p column. If there's not one in the p column, we're good. We can put a t down right away. So these first two, if you have a t in the p column, you're playing the game, you have to do work. And what is the game? Well, it's q. You got to look in the q column and see if you got a t here. You have to do work. You did the work. You have a t right here. You got to put a t right here. Over here, it's saying you have to do work and you did not do the work. You have to play the game and you failed the game. You get an F right here. If P then Q, the truth tables will look like this. You have 3 trues and 1 false. And that throws people off. It's really complicated. But if you can get this one, you can get this one. Oh, no, that's not true. You can get this last one. So put that ID on hold. Maybe I'm gonna skip this column for a minute because I'm going on this if-then thing. I'm going to skip to this last one. If not Q, then not P. This is just like this one, except you don't play with these 2 columns. You're playing with not Q as your first column and not P as your second column. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at this column instead of looking at this column and figure out if there's any work for you to do. If there's a T right here, we're playing the game. If there's an F right here, we don't have any work to do, we automatically get a T. So there's an F right here, I don't have any work to do, I automatically get a T right here. There's an F right here. It means I don't have any work to do, I automatically get a T right here. But in these 2 cases where I have a T in the not Q column, if that happens, that you have a T in the not Q column, then you need to have a T in the not P column to earn your T over here. So in these 2, I have to look at the not P column and see if I have a T or not. Here's the not P column. In this second one, I don't have a T. Damn, failed. In this fourth one, I do have a T. Oh, okay, good. I got to put a T right here. True, false, true, true. Note, it's a lot like this one. In fact, in this one, it turned out identical to the 2. But it's a lot like it in that we have 3 T's and 1 false. If you're wondering why these are the exact same, it's because this is the contrapositive of this. Might have noticed that. Probably didn't. But that's not the point. I just wanted you to go through them, not by recognizing contrapositives, just by the stuff that I said. Okay, finally, the last one, not P and not Q. I think this one's a little bit more straightforward. People did pretty well in this one. Look at the not P column, look at the not Q column. If they both have a T in them, you get to put a T right here. If that's not the case, you are forced to put an F right here. So look at, I don't know, I think more arrows would just make things confusing. Maybe I'll go down here. You're going to look at the not P column and the not Q column. And if they both have a T, then you got to put a T right here. They do not both have a T in this first row, so I don't get to put a T over here. They do not both have a T in the second row, so I don't get to put a T right here. They do not both have a T in this third row, so I don't get to put a T right there. But finally when I get to the 4th row, these both have a T, therefore I can put a T there. Notice with and, I need both of them, whereas with or, I just needed one or the other earlier on. That's the end of the truth tables. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense to people. I wish I would have made a video on this before you guys took the midterm. If you run into things like this, if there's things you just don't get, which I now realize you didn't get, let me know. Ask me to make a tutorial video, something like that, and I can do something just like this for you. But I'll end this video here.